It's that holy water dripping. I said that holy water dripping.
What's up? What's up?
Check it out. This ain't the house that love build little
Y'all
mama.
ready
Don't
for
get it
this or
twisted.
what?
60-hour weeks
What's up?
and I
What's
did
up?
it
It's
without
MRI
a
Man.
witness. That holy water is dripping. You better be with the business. I'm slicing right through the tension. Steady focus on the mission. Like fuck.
Dofu Gazy.
They rapping with no conviction, they oblivious. That's run on sentences. I've been on the move my whole life. Like what at least do. All these niggas
All right.
all these niggas see through.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What up? It's Sunday, February 28th. How y'all doing out there, man? It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. This is a RAD Tech Live first episode. Welcome. Yeah, we got Dofu Gazy. Check it out. We going live, all right? We in the building. Yo, if you don't know me, I'm MRI Man, a.k.a. Kwame, a.k.a. The GOAT. You already know. First episode, welcome to the show. It's going to be dope. It's going to be off the chain. Yo, introducing my beautiful wife right here. This is Gabby. Gabby, tell them a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you're from. I'm going to pass it to you. All right, let's do it.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Gabby. I am a newer MRI tech. I've been doing this for about a year now, and I really enjoy it. And I think that, I'm going to be joining Kwame a little bit more, with this YouTube channel, just because we have a lot of information to share and we do get a lot of questions. So we just want to help everyone out.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm going to say good morning to some of you guys out here. Got the homie right here, Mikey Dre. Yo, what up? Long time follower. All right, going through the comments. Yo, glad to meet you again. What's up? Yo, good morning, good afternoon, actually, huh? What's up? Let's wake up. Yeah. Who else we got in the comments? Everyone getting shout out.
Colleen says, good morning, lovebirds. She's a CNA looking into radiology. That's really good.
Dope. Who else is in the comments? Let's go. Carlita. Okay. Good morning. Hello. What's up? All right. Let's see. So we're gonna start it off. A few shout outs.
Andrew Perez.
Yo. Okay.
Carlita.
What's up? All right. We're gonna do some shout outs real quick. Hold up a second. I want to shout out the homie right here. This is Dofu Gazy, local artist from Long Beach. His music's really dope. He's actually going to become a tech too, doing his clinicals right now. He is a dope artist. Check out his music. That's what you were hearing in the beginning of my podcast. Yeah, I put all his links. He's available on all platforms. So I put his links in the description. I'm also gonna be doing some other shout outs right now. This is a guy I follow on YouTube. He has a really good channel, radiology channel, kind of like mine. Let me show you real quick. The Radiologic Technologist right here. All right. Hold on, let me bring that up. Really dope channel. Talks to you about how, tips and all that about radiology, and he's an X-ray tech, ultrasound tech, CT tech, right, Gabby? He does it all, right?
He does it all.
Ultrasound.
He has a lot of good info too.
Yeah, Gabby, talk to him. Talk to him more about that. Talk to him.
So yeah, I've been watching a lot of his videos lately. He's been doing it for a long time, and he does do lives every Saturday. But he has really good information about cross training, because he's done basically every modality, and he's also gone into management, so he can tell you a lot of information also about looking for jobs and what the employer is looking for also. So yeah, definitely check him out.
Yo, that's what's up. Look at it. Check this out. I'm tripping out on this. From India.
Yeah,
shout out to
hey.
India. That's wild. That is so dope.
Nice.
That's
one.
That is awesome.
Welcome.
That is why I'm starting this group called the It's called RAD Techs Worldwide. It's a Facebook group. It's going to be dope, bringing all the techs around the world, everywhere. And also, yeah, that I'm putting all the links in the description. You know, Dofu Gazy, Facebook group, the Radiologic Technologist, his channel. You follow that. So yeah, we're just rolling through. Yeah, so let us know you got any questions, or we're here. I do want to talk about a few things. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. I got a lot of funny memes on there. You guys got to check that out. That's pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, well, let's see. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about the school we went to and like the process and how it was for us in school. We're just gonna go back and forth. Gabby, you want to tell them like what was it like going in for the the orientation at the school? Tell them what kind of school it was and how it works. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we went to Casa Loma College. It's a school down in Van Nuys, and it is a private school, so it's a little expensive, but they basically help you with everything. You can, just go sign up. You take like a little quiz, like a little entrance exam, and it's not hard at all. They make it, so that basically everyone has a chance to enroll in the program, and they do make it really easy. They have someone there for everything like financial aid and like other financial like guidance too. And they have people who just do the clinical stuff and basically everything, so they do help you a lot. And after you do your enrollment quiz and you do all the paperwork, then you have orientation, and it just shows you how many people of like different backgrounds and different ages that are signing up. And it's really cool because there are people who enroll knowing nothing about the medical field, and then you get people who are already in the medical field and who just want to try something different. And they do make it so that basically everyone has a shot. So I think that's really cool. And so the class does begin, like a pretty large size. And then eventually, a lot of people don't make it. But it's definitely worth it. I think that if you are thinking about it, you should definitely look into it. They do also answer all your questions, so if you have any questions or if you just are thinking about it, definitely give them a call and just ask everything, you're thinking about and all your doubts and stuff. And the school, it's, I don't know, about $30,000, something like that. They do have financial aid and they do have some grants that they can give you, so that'll bring the price down. You can apply for some scholarships also. A lot of people don't really do that just because, you have to put in some work for that. But I think it's definitely worth the money. Once you start working and you start making money, you realize that you can definitely pay that off like quicker than you think.
All right, yeah, that sounds about right. Um, people always ask me, is it hard to become an MRI tech? Is it worth it? Um, why should they, you know, what would make them want to be an MRI tech? And so, like, Gabby, like, what made you decide to go with MRI instead of like ultrasound? Why did you choose MRI? Like, what were your thoughts?
Well, I did want to do ultrasound, and it still interests me a little bit because, it's different.
Let me stop you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I think my mic was muted there. Sorry, guys. No, my question to Gabby was, like, why did you choose MRI? Like, what were your thoughts on, MRI, and why did you get into that? Like, let them know why.
So I was definitely interested in ultrasound. I am still, like I said, still a little interested in ultrasound. But getting into ultrasound was a little bit more difficult. And MRI, really interested me, I think more than anything just because I didn't know much about it, and there's just so much about MRI, it's very intricate and it's, challenging, that I think, I always look for something that's challenging because, you get bored if it's too easy, you just get bored doing what you do, so I think that's what I liked, about it is, like, just the idea that there was so much to learn, and I am glad I went with MRI just because every day you get, you know, it's a different experience every day. Like, even though you're doing the same exams, like, there's always something different.
Yeah, I agree with you. So MRI is like you can have your good days and you can have your bad days. All right. It can be busy, it can be crazy, it can be wild, but all in all, I do love my job. I chose MRI. Well, I got into MRI because first I was a phlebotomist and I was getting kind of burned out from doing that. I did that for like 5 years and I was just getting burned out. I was working at a plasma donation center in Van Nuys. It's called Octapharma Plasma. Very crazy, interesting place. All right. So this place is on
Yeah.
like Van Nuys and Victory. It's in a big brick building. If you would drive by it all the time, you wouldn't even know what it was. Okay. So I get out of, my medical assistant slash phlebotomy school back in like, I don't know what year that was, '08 or something. I don't even know, '09, 10. I don't know, something like that. So I get out and I'm just applying for jobs everywhere. And I get a call and they're like, oh, you have an interview. It's at a plasma donation bank. I have no idea. I didn't do my research. So I just roll up and I show up and it's just like, it's this big brick building. Okay. I go in, I park. It's wild, man. I go in there. There's about, man, like 40, 50 people sitting down and it's just wild in there. It's crazy. And it's like, I'm like, wow, what is this place? So I'm waiting, people looking a little rough in there, looking a little ghetto in there. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So they call me, I go into the bigger room. It's like this huge room. There's like 40 or 50 beds in there. And there's like all these flat screens. And then you have all these people hooked up to these like IVs and they're drawing their blood and goes into the machine. Plasma for how you say it, plasma phoresis machine, and spins the centrifuge and separates the plasma. Okay, so yeah, you got like 50 whatever beds, and it's a trip. So I get the job there, and that place is wild, dude. Just all different kinds of people. They're coming from hoods across the valley, LA. So it's a little rough in there, man. A little rough. It was a little hectic. Met a lot of cool people, but there was fights in there. People wilding, doing some crazy stuff on the outside, and it was just hectic. I mean, had fun there and stuff, but I was kind of getting burned out. I got a lot of crazy stories in there, man. People like literally tried to fight me there, threatened me there. Someone broke in my car. It was crazy, man. It was just like bang bang. It was not. It was wild.
Oh, your mic is,
Easy.
yeah, no.
It was just like, uh,
There you go.
what about now? Can you hear me?
There we go. There we go.
Are we back? Are we
Yeah.
back? Anyway, I get the job. Okay, I get the job. It's wild, and unstable internet connection. God damn it. Hold on, guys. Getting a little breakup. All right. All right. Yeah, so I get the job and been doing that and it was just wild, got burned out. So I just started talking to more people and I had one of my friends, he was his cousin was an MRI tech and he was like, yeah, man, I'm making good money. I'm doing this and that. And I'm like, well, where'd you go to school? And he's like, oh, I went to school in Van Nuys, which is down the street from where I'm working. I had no idea about it. I was like, God damn it. And I was like, this guy, he wasn't the smartest guy I knew. Okay. But he was like, yeah, I did the school, did the program. So I was like, all right, I'm interested. I need more money. I was like, I have 2 kids and struggling with this phlebotomy job. It wasn't a hospital, so I wasn't getting that, that top dollar or whatever. But I decided to go for it, and I was a little nervous going in, but I was like, it's like do or die, sink or swim, right? I'm trying to get this money. You know what I mean? Um, so MRI just interests me because just the basically like the images look really cool, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing, like how you can just see different parts of everyone's body, their brain and everything. Is like it was just interesting the way that the human body works, anatomy and physiology. That just interests me, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I got into the medical field, was or stayed with the medical field, is because just the fact that interests me. It's interesting, you know. I wanted to go to school for like business and like real estate and stuff like that, but the books, like real estate does interest me, but the whole book thing and just getting the license is just like, I couldn't do it at the time, but it's something I'm looking into doing. um but yeah, that's why I stuck with the medical science. Has always been cool to me, and like something I always liked since a little kid, you know what I mean? I always did really good in science class, and chemistry I was good. It was like effortless, and I would just remember the teachers telling me like, oh, you guys need help with your science, like go to Kwame. He knows what he's doing. And that's just how it's been like my whole life. I just, when you have like talents, and well, at least for me, like talents, interests, like you can be really good at it and not know, like you just naturally good at it and naturally have an interest for it, and that's hard to find sometimes. But it's something that as I got older, I was like, whoa, like this is something that I was always good at. Like when you take that in like, what is it, like middle school, you take the what is it, sex education, or what was that, whatever, and they tell you about the human body and all that. I always
Uh-huh.
thought that was interesting. All the kids were like laughing, ah, ha, ha, you know what I mean? I thought it was like fascinating. Like when they showed the what was that guy, when they did the birth thing where they show like the baby, they show you that
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
I always thought that was interesting. That was
The
like,
anatomy and just how, how the human body works, basically, right?
yeah. So I don't know. Some people were like, "Oh, the kids in the class." I thought that was cool. I was like, "This is like interesting." I always wondered how my heart beat, and like why I can do certain things, like how everything connects. So I always thought that was amazing. So that's when like people tell me, "Oh, is this for me? Should I do it?" Just make sure you're not just doing it for the money. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna get in, you're gonna hate your job, and
Hmm.
I hate working with techs that hate their job. I love my job, so that's something that I don't like.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to work with people who just don't take their job seriously. You can tell that they just do it for the money, and it affects everything because their work is, not great. Their patients have to come back, and it just makes everyone look bad. You have to work harder to make up for, all their mistakes and stuff like that. So definitely don't do it just for the money.
And that's for show. Do not do it for the money.
Yeah, it has to interest you. And it is interesting. I think that this technology is always changing, so it's never going to be boring, I think. A lot of people think, MRI, you say, "Oh, I do, I'm an MRI tech." They think that your job is boring, but it's not. It's like it's really interesting. And I wish more people knew about it, and I think that's why Kwame started this channel, was because he wants people also to learn about MRI and people to become more interested in it. We want more people to join the field, especially people like from the places where we came from, which, a lot of people don't become successful, from where we came from. They just, you get a minimum wage job and that's what you do, or you make it to like medical assistant, and that's where you end up for, the rest of your life. And we just want more people to be interested. We want to show people that it's not boring, and we want people to, give it a try and join us.
Yeah, yeah. Gabby's Gabby's preaching right there. She's preaching. That's true, man. Like I've lived all around the San Fernando Valley. I was born in LA, City of Angels, but grew up in the Valley, Van Nuys, Pacoima. I've even lived in good areas like Sherman Oaks and Burbank. So I'm well rounded and I know how to work and I know how like the rich think, the poor think. So I've been all around that. And I spent some time in Pacoima. If you guys don't know about Pacoima, it's a place, it's like a love and hate. Like I love Pacoima because it made me, realize it makes me grateful, and to be able to just go through stuff that I did over there. It's a poor community. There isn't look, Pacoima has like liquor stores and just like there's no schools, there's no tech schools, there's no nursing school, there's nothing there. And there's like a continuation school. There's just nothing for these guys out here, which is like ridiculous. And it's like, look, let me tell you something. Casa Loma, if you look up the history, Casa Loma was supposed to be in Pacoima. I remember seeing this article when I was at the school. I was like, what? It was supposed to be in Pacoima? And they moved it to Van Nuys. So I'm just like, they got to give these guys opportunities. You know what I mean? They're stuck in this area. There's no jobs. There's no like schools for them to go to. There's no trade schools. There's nothing. There's nothing for these guys. And it's like no motivation for them. So that's why I like having this channel. I like to help people and just get the word out and show them that there's other options. You know what I mean? There's other options in that fast money, and it's okay. Like I remember, I'm breaking up
A little bit.
a little bit. Yeah, it's live. We're working on it.
Mhm.
Do you guys hear me now? But yeah, there's other options out there, and it's like I remember being out there and just like dudes from the hood or whatever, they would make fun of people in scrubs. It was crazy. Like I was like, like what? They got a good job. It's like, what are you doing? Like you sit here on the block, like you making fun of some dude in some scrubs, like and calling them nurses. And oh, even if it's a male nurse, like who cares? Like they shouldn't be made fun of. Like I'm not saying everybody to go do radiology, everyone do the medical field, but there should be some options, man. People that have come from that, they need to talk up and spread the word and not try to hide the keys. Like I'm giving the keys all day. I don't even care. But let me answer this question. Ryan, is it easier to get a hospital job if you start with a radiology degree, and then cross train into MR? Gabby, you want to answer that?
Is it easier to get into a hospital if you start in radiology degree and then cross train into MR? It could be if your goal is to get into the hospital, then maybe like if you become an X-ray tech and the hospital hires you, and then they could even pay for you to go to MRI, which is always good. Like hospitals, um, a lot of times will actually pay for your schooling, and then since you have X-ray and then you'll have MRI, you know, you can work at any hospital. But yeah, if the goal is to get into the hospital, then probably yes. But just to become an MRI tech, you can go either route. You can become an X-ray tech and then cross train into MRI, but that's just going to take you a little bit longer, especially if you're working somewhere that doesn't really want to cross train you. Like if they don't have the time, they um, it's just too much work. They need you as an X-ray tech. It might be a little bit harder to get them to cross train you. But yeah, if you get a job at a hospital as an X-ray tech, they might cross train you into MRI, but just know that it might take a while. It might get put on hold too. If you might start about a week into MRI training, and then they're like, oh, you know what? We're gonna have to wait on that. So you have to just keep that in mind because it does happen. People cross train and they think that they're going to be MRI techs, within a few weeks or whatever until they take their test. But then it gets put on hold and then, they're just doing x-rays. So just kind of keep that in mind, right?
Well said, well said. I agree. I mean, but at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, do you want to do x-ray? You know what I mean? Is
Yep.
that really for you? Do you know what x-ray techs do? I mean, yeah, they take x-rays, but do you know what their daily job is like? Do you know how many x-rays they take? Do you know what the different kind of procedures they do? So you got to look into that. You know what I mean? That's why we got to get an x-ray tech on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, we work with x-ray techs and we see them. They're busting their ass, man. Um, what, like 40 x-rays? One guy can do 40, two of them can do like 80. So it's like super busy. And if you're working in like a hospital, you're doing like those trauma. So you, I mean, if that's you, there's some action there. You're working at a trauma hospital. I've heard some crazy stories, like just people coming in all snapped up,
Yeah.
just hectic. I mean, you guys like you guys like watching that Grey's Anatomy, but I mean, like, this is real life. So you got to just look into it. We'll try to get, well, if the homie, the Radiologic technologist, we can get him on here. I'm sure he's seen all kind of stuff. He's been doing it for like 20 years. I don't know, long or something like that. 10, 12, long time. Let's see. Yo, Mr. Ball. In my second semester, looking into IR afterwards. Okay. Interventional radiology. That's dope. There's another
Nice.
question I wanted to get to. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Gabby, this guy, look, my ARRT exam will be in 10 days. So
Nice.
Gabby got a better score than I did on the ART, I believe. I got like a 84 or something. Gabby, what did you get? And Gabby, tell them like your strategy on like studying, like how often did you study, for how long? Like, just kind of tell them that, you know?
Okay. It was, I did put in a lot of work. I took, I don't know, maybe like at least a month before the test that I just really focused on studying. And I created a lot of flashcards. I used MRIquiz.com. That's a good website because they basically have mock quizzes and you can take them as many times as you want. And it'll tell you your score right after you're finished taking it. And it tells you your questions that you got wrong and it tells you what the answer is basically. So you can make notes and flashcards on those. And that way you can keep taking that quiz over and over until you get them right. And I use the study guide, of course, that we have. We have a study guide that's really good too because it tells you some things that you don't really learn in the program. I think that a lot of that stuff wasn't in the program. And also a lot of the teachers, they just like, especially for physics, it was really hard to understand it from the teachers. I don't know if it was just because they didn't really explain it well, or if it's just because we all learn it so differently. But you basically kind of have to learn physics on your own, it seems like, especially in this program that we went to. But the book really helps, and then there are videos too that really help. And then there's actually a professor on YouTube that I watched a lot of his videos, and they really help too. He teaches like radiologists on, like MRI physics, which is really cool. I can't really think of the name right now. But it's really, I don't know, it's not hard to study for it. I think you just have to put in the time, you know. I don't know. What do you think?
You got to put in the time, but then you also have to have an interest for what you're doing. I mean, you gotta be interested in the physics and how it works. I mean, if you're not interested in it, you're not gonna learn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gonna care. You're not gonna want to do it. So, shout out to Chris Cruz. He's been rolling with me for a long time. Only a year and a half left before the boards. Hey,
Nice.
that's dope.
Congrats.
Mommy Core. Yeah, CLC started. Whoa, look, she's telling you right there. I'm telling you, I'll be spitting the facts. CLC started in Kwame in 66, and then also it was there for a little while. Why did it move? Conspiracy.
Wow. No
That's
way.
awesome. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Hey, we need to bring some schools to Pacoima, man. We're gonna start
Yes.
that. Watch. Okay, hey, MTN Grace 123. I have been a MRI tech for many years. I'm thankful for the career, but I have 2 kids and one with special needs. It's very hard for me. Wow. So do we. So do we. We have our younger son has autism. So
Yeah.
we know what it's like to have a special needs.
Not easy.
Not easy, and it is extremely hard to study when you have a special needs kid, and it's just hard all in all, but it's very rewarding. And that's something I was talking about to Gabby off the air, about talking about autism awareness, and you know
Mhm.
not so sure how it plays in MRI. I mean, I know we scan autistic
We do.
patients before,
Mhm.
so I don't know the whole study on if they can scan a brain and tell, is there a difference between an autistic brain and a regular brain. I'm not really sure, but we still got to. I'm still for the spreading the awareness on autism, and I'm all for
Disabilities,
that. Disabilities, period. You know what I mean?
True. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. It wasn't easy for us. We do have 2 kids also. We have 2 boys, and the younger one does have autism. And so when I started school, they were like, what, like 4 and 5 or 4 and 6. And yeah, it was just a lot of not sleeping for sure. And it's not easy, but you know what? It's totally worth it. And, good job to you for becoming an MRI tech too, because I know how hard it is. And that just shows everyone else out there that if you have kids you know, and you have a job, like you can do it. Don't give up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Don't give up. Anything's possible. Everyone has their trials and tribulations and all that, and nothing's easy. Nothing is easy. We've all been through it. When I was going through clinicals, I have my family, and it was hard. I had to work full time. I was behind in bills. I had credit card debt, car breaking down, a bunch of stuff on the side. You know what I mean? And I just kept pushing, and I knew that something good was going to happen if I work hard enough and dedicate my life to something and just really try and go and get it. I knew that, you know, it was going to work out. And it was, like I said, it was do or die with this MRI thing, man. Like literally when I finished school, I got out, graduated, but we're getting behind on everything. I mean, it was terrible. It sucked, man. Just like I remember having on my door just like eviction, and it's like, getting kicked out of apartment, whatever. And I knew I'd come up with the money. It was just I was working so hard, man. I was doing like phlebotomy, but then I was doing like Uber and Amazon and whatever. You know what I mean? Just delivering, just hustling, and then just trying to catch up, man. It was crazy, but I was like sink or swim, and I knew we were gonna make it, but I was just like, it just sucked. You know what I mean? It's just I know how it is, you know what I mean? I know what it is. Like, we weren't eating sushi and all that stuff. We were eating like noodles, beans, rice, cooking
Yeah.
all our meal. Like it was,
Pockets
I
and
mean, if you want to go, do you want to go, if you want to go back, that's when we had an apartment. You know what I mean? If you want to go back, you can go back to like the Target days. You want to go back to that? Back when we were driving
like
this old
1990 Celica.
1990 Celica that smelled like gasoline. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No air conditioner in LA in the valley, 110 degrees. Like literally just like all we had eggs and like noodles. And we were in this back house that's like
Like a
smaller than
studio.
my garage.
super tiny.
You turn around this kitchen, that's the bathroom. Like, we were always thankful though and grateful, and I loved it. Like, we enjoyed the journey, you know.
Yeah.
I always would say, like, this isn't it, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't it. Like, we're not gonna stop, and just keep grinding, man. Just keep grinding. That's all you got to just keep hustling, keep grinding. And that's how I feel now. Now I'm like, what's the next step? You know what I mean? What's next? What Letitia Sylvia, what material can I study other than MRI quiz in order to pass the ART? I have that MRI review and study guide. If you guys, you can email me, MRI Tech Life at gmail.com, and I'll shoot that over to you. That's a good one. MRI in Practice. That's a good book.
So MTN Grace, they're talking about how it's hard for them to grasp the physics just because, you're only working 1 day a week, but you can probably do like volunteer work and then of course watch YouTube videos on physics. I don't know if you have a physics book, but the physics book, like the one that we got from school, it's really good. It gives you a lot of really good information, and it has videos that you can watch along with it too.
Let me see. This is Gabby. Were you working full time during the program? Well, she had to take, like, let me tell you. So basically, when I had the eviction notice, and I was like, screw that. I paid them, and then I got a call out of nowhere when I was out of school, and they're like, hey, do you want to move to like the Central Coast? And I was like, what the hell? I've never been there. So we checked it out. Ended up moving to the Central Coast. Got a little apartment, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna work. And then Gabby's like, all right, well, figure out. She was just trying to figure out like what school she was gonna do, and she was taking care of the kids, which is like could be a lot harder to take care of kids. You know what I mean? So she was doing that, and we were making it. We're doing good. Am I cutting off a little bit? We're doing good. But then, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're doing good. And but I was like, we need a little walking around money. You know what I mean? Gator need a little money. I need some shoes. You know what I mean? I need a little walk around cash. So I got another job, MRI job at this hospital, and we're stacking it up. And then Gabby, we actually moved to Central Coast, and then she decided to go to Castellomo, which is like what 3.5 hours away. So that was every Saturday. So that was dope. That was cool. That was like a cool journey because I like. It's like when you're gonna win. Like, you guys play sports. Like, you guys, it's gonna be like kind of a tough game, but you're like, we already got the players here. We're gonna win. So it's like, we knew it was gonna happen, and we were doing good anyway. It was just like, we knew it. We were there. We're like, man, just keep showing up. If I passed it, we know she's gonna pass it because she's like way smarter than me, with the books and all that. So there was another comment in the comment section. Good question. Do you think you can pass with just MRI quiz? No. You need more than that. You gotta.
Because MRI quiz will give you the questions and answers, but you need to be able to understand it, I think. So yeah, like MTN Grace 123 mentioned, she's talking about Bill Faulkner. I don't know who that is, but
Oh no!
who is that?
Oh no! Oh no! Go ahead.
But yeah,
like, isn't that guy like huge? he's like huge. Isn't he like the MRI safety guy or something like that?
no,
Bill Faulkner. Dang, I hope he's not watching.
123 will have to tell us because
I'm pretty sure he's like the MRI safety guy. Isn't he that guy?
maybe I don't know.
Who's
him,
Bill
but I don't
Faulkner?
know.
Damn. Our coworkers talking about him. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I don't know.
We're gonna get him. We'll get him on the show. I'm pretty sure.
I watched other videos though. I watched these other videos. I really don't know the name right now, but I don't know if it's with the Khan Academy, but definitely, I would watch some videos or something that can help you understand the physics and, because the questions and answers only, I think that they're not enough just because you need to be able to understand it. And you will get questions about like pixel size and stuff like that. Like you have to be able to calculate. So if you don't know your equations for your physics problems like pixel size and all of that, you will have to be able to answer those, just with a calculator or on a piece of paper. But you have to know your equations and you have to understand it for sure.
Want to answer? Can you see this next question?
Let me see. So I plan on getting ART certified in the future. So it says right now I'm about to take the ARMRIT exam. Will MRI quiz help me prepare for ARMRIT? Well, from what I've heard, we didn't take ARMRIT, but from what I've heard is that you can use MRI quiz. We have a coworker who just finished school, and she actually took the ARMRIT first, just because it would actually with Casaloma taking the ARMRIT quiz. You can take it before you finish school. I don't know if it's still this way, but she just finished like a few months ago. But doing the ARMRIT helped her bypass the school's exit exam, which is set to be really hard, even harder than the licensing test. So she actually took the ARMRIT quiz before finishing school so that she didn't have to take the school's exit exam. And she finished school that way. And she used MRI quiz and she did pretty good. So I don't know if the questions on there are similar. I really don't know. I've never really asked anyone, and we didn't take that test, but I can only imagine that it should be pretty similar. And question is that? Let me see.
Do you see the question? I'll take it. So I completed my program in 2016. I want to do X-ray as well. I have 4 kids. Does it make sense to go to a private school versus community college? Well, that's why I chose the private school, because it was a Saturday program and I can work full time and I can still, see my kids and stuff. I couldn't go to school every day. Would have wanted to go to school every day? Probably not. I like doing everything in like one day. Um, the Radiologic technologist, he said something like that made so much sense. He's like, okay, you can go to a community college and get in the RAD Tech program, right? And it's cheaper. But like, check it out. I did a little research, and then for Santa Barbara, I don't know. This is for Santa Barbara Community College. I don't know about all the other ones, but it's probably similar. So you have to wait a 3-year waiting list just to get into the RAD Tech program. 3 years. You can walk into a private school probably today. You can walk into Castelloma today and get on. Like, come on, and finish the program in like what? 2 years, and then you're still waiting 3 years to just get in the RAD Tech program, and then it's another 2 years. So time is money, you know. So yeah, it's 30 grand, but you done already made, 100 grand, 80 grand, 60 grand. I mean, you're already making money. You're gonna make money faster. So me, I want the money faster. 30 grand. I mean, I know cats. I always say this. I know cats that spent 25, 30 grand on a car working at Target. You know what I mean? Invest in yourself. Everything's gonna cost money. I mean,
Oh yeah.
30 grand ain't nothing. I mean, it's a lot, but it ain't nothing compared to the universities. And I made 100K doing MRI like the second year I was in it. I mean, I worked hard, but so yeah, 30 grand was it worth it? Yeah. I mean, with the kids and stuff, the private school just helped. It was just, I needed money. I needed to get in quick. I didn't have time to wait around for 3 years. I need to get that money ASAP. Let's see.
I was going to answer a question.
You got it? You got a question?
MTN Grace 123. She asked which book and which video. So the videos, I actually found them. They're from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and it's MRI physics, and those videos helped a lot. And also the book. So the book is MRI in Practice, and that's the physics book that. So it's called Albert Einstein's. Yeah, so it's Albert Einstein's College of Medicine. I think that's what I said. And they have a professor that does like all these MRI. You have to probably type in MRI. No, you can type in MRI probably at the end and then just and yeah, so all these videos, I watched all of them. And I feel like for me, I think that's how I understood it was watching these videos because I'm a visual learner. And also the book is the MRI in Practice, which we do have here. Let me see, I'm gonna grab it. And this book, so this is the MRI in Practice book.
Most of the people here are.
This book it's really good. So this is the book we both used, the same book for physics, and it's beginning to end. It explains everything. So that's really good. And Kwame's pulling up the that Albert Einstein's College of Medicine MRI physics. And so these videos, I believe that this professor is giving these lessons to radiologists who are learning about MRI physics. And these videos are good. I mean, they're pretty basic. He's just drawing on a whiteboard, but I felt like I understood it. I understood it that way. And there are like other videos on YouTube that are like animations. But the animations, I don't know, for me they were a little bit hard to understand. Like just like like the spin top animations, like for procession and stuff. I don't know. It was hard for me to understand those. So, and let's see. But yeah, the book and these videos are what really helped me. MRI quiz, and of course the study guide. And what do we have here? Yeah. So Dia Martinez is asking if there are a lot of anatomy questions. And there are a lot of anatomy questions on the ARRT exam, which there should be. I mean, of course, because you do have to know your anatomy. I honestly don't remember like what percentage of the test was anatomy, but it will ask you, parts of the brain, parts of the hand, and abdominal stuff. So definitely know your anatomy. You will have to know your anatomy, even just for your job. If you have an order to do an MRI of a body part and it's a specific order, and you miss the section of that anatomy that is on the order because you didn't really know what that was, then you'll you'll be in big trouble. So definitely anatomy is important to know, even if it's not a large percentage of the ART test. Definitely I would study like every body part. And MRI quiz, they do have the anatomy in sections. So you can take their quizzes are sectioned into different areas of the body. So you can take I believe, all head questions for the brain anatomy, and then you can do like spines. I believe it's categorized so that it's split up into different body parts, which is cool because then you know that you already know a whole body part, and then you can move on to the next one, which I thought was pretty cool.
Well said. Well said. This is MRIquiz.com, the mecca. Look at all the different things: MRI artifacts, cardiac, anatomy, spine, MRI safety. Oh my God, it has everything. That is so cool. I love that. I love that. Let me see. Let me get back to the comments.
Mhm. So Andrew Perez said that his oldest has autism also.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mhm. So thanks to him, he says, I'm doing what I am doing. It's never going to be easy doing therapy, school, and trying to juggle work and life. Remind yourself that you have a purpose. That is true for sure. It's not easy. There's a lot more work that goes into caring for someone, with a disability, but it's makes you stronger for sure, and it makes you work harder. I feel like, it teaches you patience for sure. So I feel like at work, people just look at me like, why are you so calm? Like why don't you panic like the rest of everyone? So, trust me, it's that stuff just doesn't bother me like it does other people because it's just you get used to being put, into difficult situations. All right, Kwame.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um, a lot of people tell me that too. They're like, "Oh, you're really calm. You're really, this and that." I mean, it's something that I've been working on my whole life, though, really, because I used to be a stressed person a lot, or angry person, or it's just you got to find ways to calm yourself down. And whenever some, I heard this from the Radiologic technologist on his channel. He was like, he said he quoted a movie. I don't know, it was like an old movie, but he's like, when something's like really pissing you off, or like a patient's all on you, like just really giving you a hard time, just say something random, like a random saying. You know what I mean? And then I think the saying he was saying, like, just keep saying, or just say it to the face. Say like, "Oh, I don't sweat the small things." Even if they're cussing at you and just going crazy, just say something like that, and then it'll throw them off, and it'll just trigger you to remain calm. Because you know what, in 5 years, like, if you're letting all these little things bother you, also think like this: in 5 years, is that going to matter? You know what I mean? Like, you're out here getting mad because somebody took your parking spot, or someone parked close to your driveway. Think about it: is that going to matter in 5 years? Is that going to matter? So why should you be mad about that? Like, why? You're wasting energy. You know what I mean? You're wasting energy thinking like, oh, what did my coworkers think about me? Oh, well, just be a good person. You know what I mean? Treat others like you want to be treated. Simple. Don't get caught up in all that other BS, all that gossip stuff too, and at work. You know what I mean? Because there's, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are more professional now, but it doesn't matter. Wherever you go, there's always going to be like gossiping and all that. Hey, let me show you guys real quick my Instagram. If you don't know, it's freaking hilarious, man. This is my Instagram channel, or sorry, Instagram page, or whatever you want to call it. It's not freaking hilarious, man. Like, can I play this? What's gonna happen? I don't know if I have to log in. I gotta log in. I don't want to log in. But yeah, you gotta check it out. Look at this guy. Me trying to me trying to stay positive after missing 3 IV stakes. It's just like, dude, it's hilarious. You guys gotta check it out. I can't. I gotta freaking sign in. But yeah, you guys got to go to my Instagram, MRI, the real MRI man. Check it out later. Freaking hilarious, dude. Oh man. Oh, dude, you guys got to check it out. Hold on a second. Let's get back to the comments. You see something in there?
Yeah, so Enya Barnes, she says, I am in an X-ray program now for a bachelor's degree. While in the program, we can minor in CT or MRI and gain the requirements needed to sit for the exam. What are the differences between CT and MRI? So I've never heard of that.
Keep that mic fist away. Like, I
Yes.
mean, you got to get a little closer. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So I've never heard of the taking X-ray and then minoring in CT or MRI. I've never heard of that, but The differences, there are a lot of differences in CT and MRI. So CT is computed tomography and they use radiation and they do more like lung screening, what is it? Abdomen. They do brain and some MSK, but it's different. It's a lot different. I really don't know much about CT. I can't really explain it to you guys, but of course, MRI, we use a strong magnet and radio frequencies to get the images, and the images that we take are pretty detailed. So we take images of basically every body part except for the lungs. And at most places, you don't image the heart in MRI. And the images are really detailed, like I said. And we do soft tissue, we do bone. So we can image basically, all of the different tissues in the body. So I don't know if you're trying to decide on which one to go into. It's hard to say. It's really you probably have to see it, maybe shadow for a day just to see what it's like because that's really going to be up to you which one you choose. Some people like CT, they don't like MRI, and some people like MRI and
That's
they
right.
want to do CT. So really, you have to kind of, maybe shadow for a day and just to see if you like it.
All right. Yeah. Well said. Well said. Blissful vibes. I'm a student at RAD Tech in the BSRS program. My last semester, I will be in MRI. I will be in MRI as my modality. My question is, will it be hard for me to catch on? And is there any advice that you can give? Yeah, for sure. My advice as a student going in, just be number one, just go in positive, be humble, and be willing to learn. Don't slack off. Don't joke too much when you get there. Just kind of be serious and just kind of hustle. Don't try to sit around and be like, is there anything else I can do? Check orders, clean the beds. Just don't be sitting around. Have a notebook. Take some like just whatever, like a notebook like this or something, but just take really good detailed notes. And don't question them to death, the trainer, and just try not to make the same mistakes. Try to know your anatomy as much as you can going in. I mean, you can know your anatomy, but know what it looks like on MRI. And a really good website. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys right now. It's called MRI Master, and that site is great because it shows you like, um, it shows you what the MRI images are like. You can like scroll through and check it out. So that's pretty dope. Um, but yeah, we see a bunch of students come in and out. So it's like, just try not to be too cocky and just know your role. Like just try to get better, and that they'll respect you for the hustle and how hard you work. Right, Gabby?
Yeah. You just have to work hard and show that you really, you know, that's what you want to do because people can tell if you're just, coming in just to get those hours, just to say you did it, the people there will know that you're not taking it seriously. So definitely take a lot of notes and also something that's important, just for you is to take notes of things that happen because I know like we haven't mentioned this before, but sometimes things happen and like later on when you finish, have everything documented so that things don't come back later on when you're trying to finish. They might say, "Oh, you didn't do this," or "You're missing that," or it shows you didn't show up or anything like that. So that's also something to do because it does happen to a lot of people where they'll be done with school. Am I okay?
I think we're like kind of losing signal a little bit.
Okay. But yeah, it happens to people a lot where they'll be done with school. Yeah.
I think we're like
We're good.
kind of losing signal a little bit, but we're coming back. Oh, come on, come back.
Sorry, guys.
No, yeah, are we good? Can you guys hear us? Sorry, we're losing.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Are you?
Well, yeah, I think we're.
I don't know. Can you guys hear us in the comments?
But yeah, I guess I'm just gonna keep going. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. But
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
it
working
does
on it. I don't know
happen.
what's
I've
going
seen it
on.
happen to people where they'll finish school and then the school says or their site says, "Hey, you didn't do this, you missed that." And so if you have it documented, that's important too because it sucks when it happens and it sucks when you can't really go back and figure out, how to prove that you did something too. So
Sorry.
Jonathan Castell says, how competitive is entry into Casa Loma currently in the enrollment process? Casa Loma, like I said, it's not very competitive to get in. I don't think it's competitive at all. I didn't have any issues. And I saw, like I said, also at the orientation, I saw people of all backgrounds. I saw people young. I saw people who were older, and yeah, people who weren't in the medical field and people who were. So I don't think it's competitive to get in, but once you get in, you have to really put in the work. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, you can definitely enroll into Casa Loma. Of course, they want your money, so I don't think they'll turn you away, right?
Yeah, that's right. But make sure it's for you. You know what I mean? Let's see, Mikey Dre. 2 questions. Once hired, will I be expected to know how to adjust parameters and how to inject contrast, or will there be some degree? Okay, so once you get out of school, well, you're saying once you're hired for a job, yeah, they're gonna kind of want you to know. But some jobs are very accepting. Like where I'm at, they're willing to train you to the end of time. They're training people for like a year, forever. So it just depends on, if they're saying they only want like 3 months. If you're coming out of school and this is your first job, they're gonna expect they have to train you because you're not gonna get good at MRI. It's gonna take a while to get good at MRI. It's gonna take you like a year to be decent.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you 2 years to be confident with everything. So yeah, they're gonna give you some time. Yeah, I know techs today that still don't know how to adjust parameters. You know what I mean? It's
Oh yeah.
once you become a tech, it's all on you, man. It's like, what do you want to do in this? Do you want to just show up and just press the buttons and just forget everything? I mean, I highly suggest that you just pay attention and get better at adjusting and building protocols because you are just going to fall behind. And next thing you know, I've seen techs that are like 10, 15, 20 years in, barely know what parameters should be and barely even check. They just expect the next person to, adjust it for them. But I mean, the more you know about these parameters and the more just the more you're going to get paid and the more valuable you are. So that's why I like MRIs because you really do get paid what you're worth. I mean, at most places they value you, or you go to another job interview and you can do all these things. You can build protocols, you can do whatever scans, and you're going to be valuable and they're going to recognize that and they're going to pay you because it's not something, a lot of people can do MRI, but everybody's not at the same skill level.
That's true.
And yeah, Gabby, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, that's true because like Kwame said, we do have coworkers who, don't know how to adjust parameters. And I mean, you can do the job. Obviously, they make it through just fine. I mean, they do run into problems and you know,
Careful there. Careful there.
well, I mean, it's just everyone is at a different level. It is true. But you don't want to be You don't want to run into a problem and then not know how to fix it. Some places, like Kwame said too, like, you know, they won't really mind training you. Um, and it can take a long time also to learn a lot of stuff. So, you know, I don't know. I think at where we work, I haven't had any problems with training. I feel like, you know, people who need the help can get it. We have a lot of older techs too who are good for, like if you have a question too. So if you're working somewhere where you can ask questions, and if you have an older tech too who knows a lot, that's always good to have. And so, do you want to answer the next one?
All right. Another one. We rarely had any contrast patients. Hold on a second. We rarely had any contrast patients at my clinical site, so I didn't get to inject. Will they be understanding of this and possibly train you? Yeah, for sure. It's not gonna take that long for you to get better at sticks. I think like the more you do, you're gonna get better, man. Just I think phlebotomy is all about like confidence, and you can. I feel like you can really learn from somebody um, that's really good at phlebotomy. Just pay attention how they tie the tourniquet. Pay attention to like where they're sticking them, like different parts of the. A lot of people have good veins on the side of their wrists, and just kind of pay attention to that, and just everything. Like there's this guy I work with. He puts a blood pressure cuff on there and pumps it, and that works a lot. I mean, you can put a heat pack on there to pay attention to the angle they're going in, pay attention to all that. It's just you're gonna get better. I think a couple of months you'll be straight. It won't even be that hard. You'll be able to get most veins, like
Yeah.
more than half. You know what I mean? There's all those people that have really bad veins, and it's hard to get. I mean, don't feel too bad about that. Because you're gonna be like that guy in my meme. Making those sad faces and crying in the back, after work. Oh, I missed the vein. Oh, it's the end of the
I know it
world.
happens to everyone.
And then some other dude gets it and they suck. And you're just like, how did they? You start questioning yourself. Like, should I even work here? Like, what am I doing? Like, damn, what am I doing? You're going to have days like that where you're just messing up all day and you're like, damn, how the hell
Yeah.
am I an MRI tech? Like, what? My pants are tucked into my sock, and then you know what I mean? You forgot your lunch and your water bottle. You're all dehydrated, and you're just like, "Oh, what's going on? What is going on?" You know what I mean? Your lips are chapped, and like your hands are all dry. No lotion. Your hair's looking wild. You know what I mean? So everyone's gonna have their off days. I mean,
Yeah.
and so it is what it is. And then some days I get through days, and I'm just like, "What the hell just happened?" You just scan like 22 patients, and you're like, "Whoa, whoa, what is going on?" But in some days you're like, whoa, what am I doing? I'm an MRI tech. I'm at work.
So so Cruel, I don't know how to say I don't know if it's the last name, but Cruel says, I just started at MRI, 7 years of CT scan experience. And to be honest, I'm overwhelmed. I need a lot of training, and I find that it isn't enough one on one training. Well, let's see. If you're cross training, I think it's hard to cross train because it seems like for a lot of people that they still have a lot of expected, like they still expect a lot from you in your modality. Like if you're a CT tech at your job, like it just seems like they expect a lot from you in CT, and then it's harder for you to really get that training that you need. Like, because we see that too, right, Kwame? Where people are cross training. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, for sure. For
So
sure.
yeah, like people are cross training and they're still doing work for their department, and it's hard for them. It's really hard. Like that is hard. So I think if that's really hard for you, I mean, I would probably talk to your manager and work something out so that they don't expect you to be doing CT stuff while you're training an MRI because, like just how can they expect you to learn it if you're doing all this CT stuff? So we do see that and it is hard, but definitely talk to your management and see if you guys can work something out.
So yeah, 7 years of CT scan experience. Yeah, that is a lot. That is a long time. And then you're trying to go to MRI. It's gonna take you a while. It's gonna take you like over a year to get
Yeah.
MRI. Let me touch on that. Let me touch on that. Yeah. It's gonna take you a while, okay? Let me tell you a story. Like there's this guy, he's like he's a pet tech and really good pet tech, really smart person, works at universities and stuff like that. He gets hired onto a job and they're like, do you know CT? And he's like, yeah, I know CT. So he gets on and he's just terrible at CT. He can do PET all day, but he's just terrible at CT. He can't do all the exams. This is a busy facility. You know what I mean? 26 CTs, and he's just not getting it. And they're like, "Well, what's going on?" He's like, "Well, you know what? I did do CT, but only like 2 a day or 1 a day." So it's like 4 months, 3, 4 months in, getting a little better. Still not great. Still making mistakes. Still being trained. So it's gonna take time. It's gonna take you at least 6, 7 months to get decent. It's gonna take you a year to be okay, to be good. Really, when they're bringing these people from CT, I don't know why they expect them to pick it up in like 3 days or 3 months. It's gonna take a year, so don't feel bad. How long have you been doing MRI though? Like since you've been in? I mean, it's gonna take time. I think to train someone in MRI, it's at least a year. Come on now. Our externship's like 8 months, and then
Yeah.
we're still like barely getting it right. I mean, it's gonna take time, right, Gabby?
Yeah, for sure. And then you still always like learn new things or things change and then you have to learn it again. So something fell in the background. But yeah, I
It's
think
haunted in here.
even for the people who've been doing it for 30 years, they still learn, they still learn new things all the time, and then so don't feel bad if if it is hard. It's not easy. I've been doing it for a year and I still have questions about some exams, that we just don't do that often. And I still have to ask people for help sometimes. I mean, it's just got to give it time and you have to take notes and really care about what you do, I think.
True that. True that. Let's see. Steph the chef. That's a cool name.
Steph the
Are you like a
chef.
chef? That's
I like that. Steph the chef. We have to know a little bit more about you, Steph the chef.
what kind of chef? Street chef. You know what I mean? So like, let me see this. Did you feel overwhelmed in school? If so, what helped? And when do you feel you overcame that? Yeah, hell yeah. I felt overwhelmed in school. I almost went crazy a bunch of times.
Yeah.
What helped me? Damn, eating a lot of food. No, I'm just playing. Dang, just
Yeah, you gain weight. You too. You gain weight.
COVID 20. What you call that? Because I gained 20 pounds, not COVID 19, right? But no, like how I'm trying to remember. I was hella stressed. Hella stressed. How did I overcome? Well, because I knew that there was like an end. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. So like I worked with this guy. When I was doing externship, I was just like, man, this is freaking hard, man. And I'm not getting paid. I'm like just tripping. And then somebody told me like this guy named Arrow, he's really cool CT tech. He's like, hey, look, we all went through it. We all had to do what you did. Everyone did it here.
Yeah.
And just know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You're gonna be rewarded. Nothing's easy. So yeah, even with the school, it's overwhelming. But you're in a class and you're all in it together. People are failing tests. People crying in the car. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's just stay focused, man. Have a goal and have a vision. Vision yourself. Getting that degree, walking on stage, and try to do something fun. every once in a while, try to go camping, do what you can. I mean, try to work out.
Yeah.
My kids always make me happy. My wife, you know what I mean? I just seeing my kids and just looking at them, and it's just like, all right, there's a reason, for doing this. Also the you know what freaking motivates me too? Like when people tell me I can do something, like, I have people at work saying, "Oh, you're never gonna get a job. You're never gonna do that." So I just like, as soon as you tell me that, it's just I like a challenge. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I overcame it. Just coming home, seeing that my car sucks and my food sucks, and then my clothes, my conditions. I'm thankful for it, but I know I want to do better. You know what I mean? So it's just having that drive, having that drive. School's overwhelming, but sometimes pressure makes diamonds, right? What do
Yeah.
you think? What do you
That's
gotta say about that? What do you gotta say about that right there?
true. Well, that's true. It was hard. It wasn't easy. It's stressful, and we did, a lot of people do just break down and cry. You see a lot of people crying when they're taking their tests at school too. But, you know, it is worth it. You just have to keep going. It's one of those things where you just have to keep going. Just don't stop, because there were definitely times where, like, I was like, why am I doing this? I just was so tired. I was exhausted. So many things to do. I have the kids. I haven't slept, and I have a test coming up, and it is stressful. It's really hard, but the thing is that you take, little breaks, like Kwame said, get away, just clear your mind, and just take breaks. Also, like, don't study, or don't, yeah, like, don't just try to do everything at once. You have to take breaks, and just keep your sanity, because it's hard. It's not easy. You do go crazy sometimes. You do lose it sometimes. You know, you're like grumpy and tired, but just keep pushing, and you will definitely make it to the end if you don't stop. Like, just think of it like that. If you never stop, you're going to get there eventually.
Yeah, that's right. And I want to add another thing. When I was studying and going to school, I couldn't go to a lot of like birthday parties and whatever, hang out and this and that. I had to cancel a lot out just because I couldn't work like that. Maybe some of you guys, I know a guy named Fernando, whatever, he can just look at a book and be like, oh, I got it. And just, easy done. But I had to really focus and lock in, because that's just the way I learn. I have to read stuff repetitively, and that's how I learn. And, people were kind of mad that I wasn't showing up. I couldn't go out with my friends, and maybe I
Mhm.
couldn't show attention to my kids as much, or my wife. Sometimes they're mad, whatever. But, and they're like, why do you always have that book open? That's how I learn. I mean, I don't pick up things that fast. So don't be, just let them know, like, hey, look, I'm doing this right now, and this is what I got to focus on. And I don't know about you guys, but ain't nobody gonna pay my bills. You know what I mean? My friends ain't gonna pay my bills. You know what I mean? So it's like I just log down. I mean, just log down and get it. You see anything else in the comments over there? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, MTN Grace 123 says, I'm one of those techs that just can't grasp all the parameters. I have never had great training, but I feel like I can only remember so much. This is why I am PRN, which is, as needed at an outpatient clinic. Well, don't feel bad, because like we said earlier, there are a lot of people who just, it is a lot to remember, parameters, and like, you have to know your sequences, you have to know your weighting and your parameters and stuff like that. But it is a lot. And then you're trying to take care of your patient, you're trying to make sure they're safe, you're trying to make sure they're not panicking. You have to monitor them. So it is hard. Don't feel bad. I mean, especially if you're not working full time. But I think that I think there are, like, charts that you can look at. We do also have a book, which is it called MRI scanning, Kwame? there's a book, I think it's called MRI Scanning, and it
Yeah,
tells
yeah,
you
yeah.
the parameters, and it tells you what everything should be. Hey, if you have to carry that around, then so be it, like, just carry it around, bring it to work
So
with you.
be it.
So be it.
Is that like a
So
drink or what? Like that with that lizard?
hey, that does sound like Sobe drink, right? That's what it's called.
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, there are charts of parameters. There's a book on parameters. You can bring it with you, carry it around, you know. But if your job already has all the parameters built in, you shouldn't have to change it. You shouldn't have to change parameters. And that's another thing too, is that like on a lot of scanners, you don't have to change your parameters. You really don't, because everything's already been programmed in a way that you don't have to change anything, which is good, but it's only for when you have to change the parameters. For some reason, something doesn't look right, or, you know, like, and you have to change the
Oh
parameters.
man.
That's when you kind of want to know like how to fix it, because you will run into like occasionally those problems, right? Where you have to change something, and you want to know, like, especially like rap, if you're dealing with rap, like, you want to be able to change, you know your parameters to fix that. If you're having a picture wrap over and over, and you keep running it, and it's taking you 2-3 minutes each time you run it, and you're just repeating it, and you're getting the same result, you do want to kind of know how to fix those issues. I mean, so maybe um like good notes, maybe a notebook. I think that helped me, because whenever I ran into a problem like that, I just write it down, and then, if I have to carry that notebook with me to work every day, I will. And then just look back into it if I run into a problem, that because we don't remember everything, especially like stuff like that, when you run into a problem and it's not very common, and you're like, "Man, how did I fix it last time?" And sometimes you figure it out, but then you can't figure it out the next time, and you're like, "Well, how did I do that?" So if you write it down, I think that helps, right?
Yo.
So it's a lot of comments here. So, and then also Steph the chef says she's not a chef at all. By the way, she just says it rhymes and it sounds nice. uh, we have Eddie Zaragoza on here. He says, "What's the best Pandora station?" What's the best Pandora station to play during the day? And how do you tell your coworker that Justin Timberlake only wrote like 3 good songs in his career? Oh, you did? Well, Kwame's trying to get back on, but what's the best Pandora station? Kwame,
Let me get that. Let
tell
me
him.
get that. Dude, come on now, man. Freaking Eddie, where are you at? Wait, hold on. Let's get this full up. Hold on. We're having a little technical difficulties, but yo, what up, Eddie? Hold on a second. Yeah, the best. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
The best. I don't know. We're gonna go with like. This cool. What's up, Eddie? Yo, you already know, man. We're gonna go with that Drake. We're gonna go with that J. Cole. Uh, friendly rap. We talking about that like Chance the Rapper. Kid Cudi. We're gonna do that. Um, if you're trying to rock out a little bit, we're going with that. We're gonna Rage Against the Machine. We mixing it up, bro. You already know. We already mixed that up. Um, those are some things. Tupac, come on, man. Tupac, you guys don't even know, man. It's the most gangster MRI tech you guys ever seen in your life, son. You know what I mean? Um, that's
But
fine.
then
That's a good one.
the patient wants to listen to something else like classical, and then that's what we have to listen to. So everybody's falling asleep when we have to change the station to classical or to some random, you know, music that we've never heard of. And we do have a tech who loves Justin Timberlake, and you know, like we learn all the Justin Timberlake songs just because of that.
Oh, what's up? Hey, shout out to Darnell. I saw you on the other channel, that Radiologic Technologist. That dude's YouTube. Yeah, shout out. And I see you like in a lot of those Facebook groups. So yeah, I seen that. You're starting school tomorrow. You're nervous. When on surface you look calm and ready. So get some of that mom's spaghetti and get on the freaking track, man. You're gonna be all right, dog. You need to gangster up, son. What are you scared of, man? It's all right to be nervous. They're gonna try to haze you probably, so just stick to your guns, man. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Everybody was nervous. I was nervous too, but you'll get over it. Hopefully they're cool and they're willing to like train you and stuff, and just be calm with it. Scrolling through the comments.
Mikey Dread says thank you for taking the time out of your day to help us and answer all our questions. MRI Man and Gabby, the goats.
I mean, I know I deserve the goat. I don't know if Gabby deserves the goat, but that's fine.
Well, yeah.
She gets, I guess.
You know what? I have, I can still share my experience.
No, that's fine. I'm just messing.
In my mind, it's still fresh in my mind because I just finished school in 2019. So.
Yeah, that's why you're not the goat. Anyway, moving on. There's only so many goats here, and it's okay.
All right.
You're right. Yeah.
I'll catch up to you.
Never. Mm-hmm. Dang, there's so many comments in here. I'm just like, wait, hold on. Let me run through this.
So Letitia Silva, sorry. She says, what can help me understand more on how to move parameters? Will MRI in practice book help? So the MRI in practice book doesn't, I think it has a parameters chart, but that's, I think that's about it, right, Kwame? I think it only has a chart for parameters, but that book will not help you with parameters. It'll tell you how to calculate certain things, but we don't really need to do that. We don't really do that at work. We never have to calculate anything, just because we already know like what the parameters should be, or at least have an idea. And that other book, which is MRI scanning, I believe it's called. That book tells you the parameters for all your sequences, which is really cool. And it tells you what protocol should contain. So it'll tell you what a brain protocol should be. Any scan, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. I got lost. You were just going off on the parameters. I was like, oh. Parameters are hard, man. I mean, just
they are
trying to figure that shit out, man. Shit's hard, dog. Hold on, let me get a question in. Yeah. Any advice for someone that wants to be an MRI technologist but is a junior in high school? Damn, man, I'm reaching the youth right now. I'm reaching the youth. Let me get that. Let me get that. Yeah, let me handle that. Step back from the mic. Let me get some of that. Let me get it. Let me get in there. It's the goats. Hey, first of all, I'm glad you think like that, son. Yeah. No, I'm just playing, but I'm glad you think like that. I didn't even know what an MRI was. You know what I mean? I didn't know what a Tesla was. I was like, Tesla. I didn't. If I was you, I'd be like, a Tesla car? Like, what do you mean? 3 Tesla? What? Anyway, any advice? Is that coffee in the background right there? Any advice? Okay, look. Yeah. So ask yourself, does human anatomy interest you? Does the way the human body work, does that interest you? Is that something you like? Take a look at, like I brought up that MRI quiz. No, sorry, MRImaster.com, and like take a look at the pictures. Does that look cool? I mean, watch my videos. Does the things I talk about, does it interest you? Do you like helping people? You know what I mean? Are you like compassionate? You know what I mean? Can you understand these patients and understand what they're going through and be willing to help them get better? Is that something that you think you'd like? What kind of hobbies do you do? Are you good with computers? You know what I mean? So I'd say just keep watching my channels. Maybe you could. I'm not sure where you're at, but maybe like we have. That's why I started RAD Techs Worldwide. Look, I'm not sure where you're at, what city you're in, what state, but we're starting that RAD Tech Worldwide where we can all talk to each other. The link is in the description. You can join that. It's on Facebook, and I'm accepting. Accepting people in, and it's gonna be dope and stuff like this. Maybe this. I would say that if you can visit a place and just go check out an MRI. Do you have anyone that like is in the medical field, Harmon? You know what I mean? That'd be dope because to just look at it, and also you can always ask us any questions, but I would say start just doing like get an anatomy and physiology book and just read that and start there. You know what I mean? Start there, right? Gabby, what is your advice to this young guy in junior and high school?
Well, I think that's really cool that you are thinking ahead like that because like Kwame said, I also didn't know what MRI was until Kwame decided to go into it. But right? I didn't. I mean, of course I worked at a hospital and I saw the MRI department and I knew what like an MRI picture looked like, but that was about it. I had no idea, I never really thought about it, but um yeah, I think if you can go into an MRI department and shadow them, that would be cool because that kind of will give you an idea of if that's what you are interested in. And I think that some places, wouldn't mind, right? I think some places wouldn't mind letting you shadow. Like if they know that your goal is to see if you might be interested in the field, I don't see why. I mean, of course, there's like patient information and stuff like that, HIPAA stuff. So you probably will have to sign some stuff, but I think that you should definitely check it out and, like watch. Like Kwame has some really good videos on his YouTube channel, and you can watch other videos too of what MRIs are like. And if you've had one, I'm sure you probably know then what the experience is as a patient. And yeah, there's a lot of videos out there for you to watch to see what an MRI tech does and what are your requirements and of course schooling. If you can get ahead of the game and take whatever classes you need to be ahead, hey, even better. So it's good to think ahead like that.
Yeah, well said there. Well, a lot of good information coming through. Let's see. Arnold, you guys are awesome. Keep up with the awesome content. I just turned 44 last week. Been in IT for 18 years and wanting to do something different now and debating on switching to MRI. Whoa, interesting. Interesting. IT guy. All right. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Look into it. It only, like I said, it's only like 2 years. I mean, you'll be in it real quick. You're already good with computers. Um, it's just crazy that you're a dog trying to do MRI. It's kind of a dog doing MRI. No, I'm just playing. No, not funny. All right. Well, because it's a picture of a dog right there. I was just,
Oh,
what?
I didn't get that.
All right. What can you advise on what you think that the next 5 years in MRI will be in regards to job stability and pay? Well, look, they can't really replace us. I mean, MRI has a lot of like MRI safety, so you definitely don't want no robot putting in a patient or whatever. So we're always going to be needed. Technology is getting better. I mean, it's going to get faster. I think MRI is going to be super busy and it's going to be more affordable, but the tech is going to be in high demand. I think just I always say like more people are going to start retiring, like the baby boomers and stuff like that. So it's just MRI is going to start to be used more. And the thing with MRI is that it's being used more to study, just like study the brain, and it's just there's different types of scans every year. I mean, so just the research, there's gonna be more research in it, and the job is projected to grow. I mean, I did a video on that too. So I think it's just going to be in demand more. Of course, if you're in LA or somewhere and you're in a place where a place is just like birthing techs, it's like, of course, it's going to be hard for you to get a job in that place because there's like 4 or 5 schools around. So that's another thing. Don't be scared to move and to travel a little bit to get the experience, and then you can go back to your wherever you were at. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We moved 3.5 hours north. I mean, when we're not going to stay here our whole life. I mean, it's beautiful here, but I mean, we're looking for the best opportunities right now. We want to stay in California. We're looking maybe moving back south or to the Bay. I don't know. I mean, if you guys know anybody, let us know. Shoot us the offers. Or if my job's listening, start showing us some offers. You know what I mean? I want to stay, but we're looking for the best opportunity for us and our family. You know what I mean? And you got two of some of the best techs on the West Coast. I mean, underrated. Now, but what the heck are we talking about? Well, I'm just trailing off. But no, hey.
But you're just trying to encourage Arnold.
Get down. First of all, get down. Arnold's a freaking dog, man. I don't even know how he can be on the computer. No, I'm just playing. Damn. Anyway, there's gonna be jobs, man. There's always jobs. But yeah, I mean, as soon as you get the couple years of experience, you'll be good.
Yeah, that's true.
Gabby, I'll let you take this next one. Can you see it? It's from Jonathan Castell. What's up? Can you see that?
Let me see. I'm looking for. Yeah. So Jonathan says, "What is the work-life balance that being an MRI tech affords you? Asking from a single person, your mileage may vary." So, well, if this is about pay, right? I think this is about pay. Well, I mean, you make pretty good money as a tech. We have coworkers who are also single. They live on their own, and they're doing just fine. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we have kids, so there are a lot of expenses, when it comes to kids. So, yeah, we have coworkers who are techs and they're single and they live on their own just fine, and they do the things that they want to do. They travel. They they live a pretty good life, right? I mean, they don't have any financial issues. They have nice cars, and they spend money on themselves, and they do the things that they want to do. So
yeah, I want to say this. Depends on what lifestyle you want to live. You got to ask yourself what you want to do. You know what I mean? Do you want to travel the world, or do you want to drive nice cars? What do you do? I mean, a car is just a payment. I mean, I'm depending on what kind of car you want. I mean, if that's what you're chasing, that's what that's what I found. If whatever you're looking for in life, eventually, if you keep going for it, you're gonna get it. I mean, just ask yourself, what do you really want? I mean, most people want what, like a house, nice house, this and that. I mean, houses in California are expensive, man. I mean, I can definitely see ourselves getting a house for sure, 500,000, whatever. Um, you just got to make sure everything's straight. You got enough money for the down, and then, the payment's not going to be bad. I mean, you just got to ask yourself, and I ask myself that too. I'm like, well, what is the goal? Before our goal was just to have a good paying job and pay rent. I mean, that happened. And now our goal is like, oh, let's buy a house, but we don't want to just buy a house anywhere. We want to make sure we buy a house where we want to stay long term. Because if we bought a house out here, then we move in a year, it's gonna be hard. We're gonna have to sell the house, and then so I don't know. I like. Don't get me wrong. I love cars. It's not really a big deal to me. I see a car just taking me A to B. I mean, I'm not really trying to show off in front of anybody and try to look cool or whatever. I do like to drive fast, but I don't want to crash or anything like that. I mean, do I want like a Porsche or whatever, Lamborghini, yeah, probably it'd be cool to drive around. But I know once you get it, it's gonna be like whatever, you know what I mean? It's just gonna be a car. When you get it, and you're gonna want another one, you know what I mean? You're I got the Porsche, now I gotta get the Corvette. Now I gotta get. That's just how it is with material things. And then I end up with a bunch of crap. I mean, I already have a bunch of crap right now. So I don't. At the end of the day, I think those things will kind of make you happy if you're into that. I mean, some people just collect shoes, and some people, I don't know. You gotta find what makes you happy. At this point, I think one day I just want to travel, go somewhere different, and then like I want to go to Africa, but I want to see a different type of Africa. You know, maybe I can go somewhere to help them. I don't want to just go. People go to these retreats and they're like, "Hey, look, I went to Africa," and there's just like a swimming pool and like it's like a big hotel. I'm just like, what? Nah, I want to be out there. You know, if I go to like India, see now I'm meeting people in India in here. So maybe when I go to we go to India, we'll have some people out there we know. I mean, that's just me. That's the type of person I am. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. Even if I was like a millionaire or whatever, I don't think my life would be. I would be the same person. I wouldn't be like. I still wouldn't be spending stupid amount of money on cars and stuff like that. I probably would just have like a Tesla or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My investments would be different, and it wouldn't be much different. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
just I would be helping more of my family and just trying to start businesses and stuff like that. Gabby, you see any more? You see any questions in the comment, Gabby?
So Jonathan also said after that, he'd be lost without the info that we're giving. So MRI man is the goat again. And then let's see. So how does seeing or being around people discovering serious illness affect your mental health, if at all? Well, you become kind of used to it, right, Kwame? This is something we were actually talking about recently, just because you realize after a while that things don't really affect you like they used to. Like if you see something in an MRI, you see it all the time. If you see like something in an abdomen and a liver, you see a mass, you see it all the time. We see it so many times that after a while, it's just like, oh, no big deal. Like you just, I mean, of course, you have to have empathy for the patient, but, and, you try to, you know, be comforting if that's what they want. But you do get used to it. So I think on our mental health, it doesn't bother me. I've gotten used to it. We were just talking about how nurses probably, they see some stuff that we can't even imagine, and they probably just like, you know, they don't you can't take this stuff home with you, like when I was working at the hospital, I worked for Providence as a phlebotomist, and I had to go to all the floors to draw blood. And, I'd go to the labor and delivery department, and, I got to see a dead baby, which was it was like it was it was like one of those things where it did kind of affect me, but I feel like if I saw it over and over, like it wouldn't affect me as it did like that one time, which I only saw it one time, and it was sad. It was really sad, but like I think in our field, which we're just, we're looking at images, and we don't really know what's wrong with the patients until the radiologist reads the reports, or if they come back, or if they're like a regular patient, like if they're a cancer patient and they're coming, for like their routine screenings and stuff. I mean, we do get used to that type of stuff. So, we just gotta treat everyone, with kindness and compassion, and have empathy for them. But I don't think at least me, I don't think it affects my mental health at all. You know, what about you, Kwame?
Yeah, well, I was leaning more to like what you were saying. But then I saw this comment. Yeah, it didn't affect me until my mother had a stroke. When I performed a stroke CT scan next for the week, it suddenly did affect me. So
Mm.
yeah, I think in that sense,
Mhm.
it does. I do kind of feel that type of way. I don't know. I mean, I feel some type of way sometimes, like when I scan. I don't know. It's just not as extreme as yours, but when I scan like a autistic kid, I'm like, oh, I have an autistic kid too,
Yeah.
and I see them struggling to get on. It kind of, I can feel that, and makes me feel some type of way, and it kind of reminds me of that. So I can understand what you're saying, and I did have had like a my grandpa, whatever, did have like an aneurysm. So sometimes I think about it, you know what I mean, a long time ago. So it does, yeah, it does kind of hit. Yeah, I never really thought about that. So it
I
makes
think
me
when
think
you
about it.
think about the people or like that, I guess, like when you try to relate those people as like, like your family, yeah, that's when I think that's true. Like that's when it does kind of affect you. Or if you imagine like, okay, like this is someone's son, like not too long ago we had a patient. He was an autistic adult, and he was living in a like a what kind of home was it? Like a nursing home, right, Kwame?
It's like maybe it's like assisted living. I don't know, something like that. I forgot what they call it.
Yeah, that was kind of hard, I think, for me. Just because he was older, he was like 60 years old, and he didn't talk, but he was, really scared and stuff like that. So I think that's when it does kind of, affect you in that sense. Like if you can relate it to someone that it does, but like you at the end of the day, you're helping them. So I think that overpowers like those feelings that you get sometimes where you're like, oh man, like, poor guy, or like this could be my son, or this could be my mom. So yeah, like the idea that you're helping them, I think that overpowers it all.
But then there's good stories, and then it's like
Yeah.
we see those patients that come in, we scan their brain, and there's something there. So then you get the radiologist, and they come in and they order it with contrast, and then the patient goes straight to the hospital, and then but then you see them come back and be like, hey, you are the one who found the mass, in my brain. Thank you. They took it out. I'm recovering now and taking a vacation to Europe or whatever. So you do hear a lot of good stories. So more than often. So that makes me feel good. Like, and then sometimes those patients that you get on the table, they probably wouldn't have got on if it wasn't for you, because you got to talk to your patient that's claustrophobic, they're nervous, to get them on the table. You know what I mean? So that's crazy. I mean, I was like, wow, what if I didn't get this patient on? What if I freaked them out? Or what if I didn't talk to them right and they didn't get the scan, and then they got all this stuff going on? And so that's why I tell everyone, like, being a technologist, your job is very important. And I try to
Mhm.
complete all the scans I can because they're all important. Nothing is just, sometimes people are like, oh, it's just a lumbar scan, oh, this and that. You never know what's going to be on that scan. You know what I mean? So they're there for a reason. They have pain. We're trying to help them. And that's a crazy part of the job right there. Scrolling through the comments. Oh, there's a question. Can you see that, Gabby? I'll read it to you.
Okay. From
Are you see
Sophonius,
that?
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quick
So it says,
question.
quick question. When I finish the radiology technology program, I'm going to end up with about $12,000 in debt. Do you guys think that that's reasonable price for the field? So if that's X-ray, yeah, I think, or any. I mean, we paid a lot more money than that. We paid like almost 30, I think, 20 something thousand. So definitely I think that's a good price. Even if it's for X-ray, right? I think I've heard some prices around that range for X-ray, but that was like a while back, so I don't know what X-ray costs now, but that's a pretty good price. I mean, once you start working, you're going to be able to pay that off, cuz we paid almost that much for medical assistant, right? Like 10 years ago, it was like $9,000 or something
Yeah, it
like
was
that.
like, yeah, at least nine G's or
Yeah.
something.
So we paid $9,000 just for like medical assistant and phlebotomy, and that was like 10 years ago. So, I mean, yeah, that's a really good price. So, especially for the kind of money that you will probably be making, you can pay that off for sure.
I'm gonna click on. Do you see Martinez
Yeah,
question?
Martinez.
What's up? Thanks for watching, you guys. Hey, if you guys haven't already, can you guys all hit that like button? It helps my channel a lot. And subscribe if you haven't. We drop videos every Thursday and Friday. This is the RAD Tech Talk Live, and we're gonna be doing this often. And yeah, I mean, check us out. Gabby, you want to answer this
Yeah.
question, Martinez?
So, Dia Martinez, how do you organize? I start studying and I start overthinking of how much info there is, and I get overwhelmed. Yeah, that happens, I think, to everyone. It's hard, like, to figure it out at first. Like, I don't think I really got it until like halfway through or like toward the end is when you really start to know how to study. Because you kind of have to try it all just to know what works for you. But you have to like make a schedule. I think that's important because you have to know like that you're gonna make time for studying, and that the people around you have to know too that you're not going to be available because you're going to be studying. So people around you, will probably have to support you. And once you have your schedule, you have to kind of break it down, because if you're trying to study physics and anatomy at the same time, it's probably not going to work out. So I would just try to break it down and then try to study first what is really difficult for you, and then go down to the easier stuff. Because Kwame has a lot of information in his videos about studying too. But he was just talking about like how he studied for the ART, and like making flashcards, of course, the book, and then breaking things down and just starting with what is most difficult for you. And also, don't try to study for like 5 hours straight, because that just doesn't work. You just like, if you put that much pressure on you, you probably will just give up in like after just like a few minutes. So probably just decide to start, even if you have to only do like 20 minutes. Like, I think I had to do that a few times where I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to study for 20 minutes. And at least that'll get you started. And if you go past 20 minutes, hey, even better. But if you just give yourself like, the idea that you're only going to study for 20 minutes, I think it will make you more likely to do it than if you say, okay, I'm going to study for 3 hours or something like that. So yeah, I wouldn't try to study for too long at a time, and then have some flashcards ready for, write some things down of whatever you're struggling with for sure. Cause yeah, like I think everyone goes through this, where you look at something and you're like, what am I reading? Right? You just read it over and over and over, and you just like your mind is somewhere else.
Yeah, let me add to that. Yeah, so like when you're trying to figure out MRI physics, just accept it for what it is. I mean, K-space is K-space. Don't try to figure out exactly what it is and who invented
Mhm.
K-space, because you're just going to get lost, and just accept what it is. A pixel is a pixel. It sounds basic, but don't go too deep in it. Like trying to figure out what the matrix is, you're going to get lost. I mean, like literally. So just accept it for what it is, and then the formulas, get the formulas down and just accept it. I mean, don't go too far into it, because you're going to get lost and overwhelmed. You see this walnut. Wait, what's up? How is continuing education being in MRI tech? I usually hate studying as much as the next person, but does it get tedious doing it every 2 years? Nah, it's easy, man. You just got, it's kind of a lot of stuff, but it's easy. All you do is read a bunch of articles, and the articles are kind of interesting, and you can choose the ones, and you take a little test. You can take the test, I think, as many times as you want, and it's nothing. It's nothing like the ARRT test. The continuing education
Mhm.
is, it's very easy. It's minimal.
Yeah,
Like
they just
it's
want your
nothing.
money, right? It's
They
one of
just
those
want,
things, you have to pay. You have to just give money, to that licensing board, and they'll give you the material to study, and you just answer some questions, right?
Yeah. Super, super simple, easy money.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, man, we're approaching 2 hours now.
Wow.
It was crazy. Time flies. Do you guys got any other questions? Do you guys like these live videos? It's cool. I have fun doing them. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should continue to do these videos? I kind of want to do them. Some of the other videos I do, some of them are only 3 minutes, but believe it or not, those videos take like, they can take a week to do, and it's like hard. And then sometimes, I don't know, people don't like them. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of these, man. We can answer any more questions if you guys got them. Um, yeah, man. I want to thank you guys so much checking us out. Uh, anyway, how you guys doing today? What do you guys got planned? It's a freaking pandemic, right? I mean,
Yeah, you can't do anything really.
it's freaking hard right now. I mean, we're just trying to stay busy. That's why I've been on YouTube a lot. You know what I mean? There's not a lot going on. Um, Jonathan. Oh yeah, enough grass for both the goats. That's right.
Mhm.
That's hilarious, dude. Oh man, that's so funny.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Hey man, appreciate that. Oh man. So yeah, Samurai Man, Rad Tech Talk live, first episode. Hey, if you guys haven't already, subscribe it, like it, follow the groups on Facebook. I put all the links in there. So I need you guys to join RAD Techs Worldwide. I need you to follow me on Facebook. I need you guys follow me on freaking Instagram. All of that. Check me out, man. And yeah, shout out to Dofu Gazy. Check him out. Um, yeah, man. I mean, it's so dope. I'm glad you guys came. I didn't expect all these people to show up. That was dope.
Mhm.
Dofu Gazy, go check him out. He's on all platforms. I'll put his link in the description. He's gonna be working on a MRI Man soundtrack, album or something. We're gonna drop something. But yeah, man. Any more questions though? Yeah, we'll do this very soon. All right. You guys spread the word on my channel. All that, man. Like, subscribe, show some
Mhm.
love. Got Gabby here. I guess the new goat. Yeah, Gabby, do you want to say bye to them?
Yeah,
And
thank you guys. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks for all the questions, because it's fun. It's fun for us, and we do like to help you guys and answer the questions. Or even if you're already a tech and you just want to come and hang out and talk about work, that's cool too. Because we do get some techs who just they just want to talk about work and talk about their experiences, which we can do more too also next time, because we do see a lot of different things, and we do like to hear from other techs also. And yeah, if you guys are thinking about um, MRI or the rad tech field, Kwame has a lot of videos, so you guys can check out his videos. And also the Radiologic Tech, um, Ron, he has some good videos too. So check him out too, because he has, he's done like a lot of different modalities, and he has some good info too. And yeah, we really appreciate you guys. We do enjoy doing this, and I think I am going to be joining Kwame more now, because it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for him. It's a time consuming, and then of course getting to all the comments. It's kind of hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up, so I'm gonna try to help him some more now. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. It was fun. It was nice talking to you guys, really.
yep, and that's a wrap. Rad Tech Talk live episode number 1. We will catch you guys Yeah, hit the subscribe and the bell so you get notifications. So you do know when I go live. Stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing some interviews with some other technologists on here, so it's gonna be dope. I'm glad that it was it went really well today, man. I didn't expect it to go that well. We did lose a little connection here and there, but we did pretty good, not bad. And this whole production took me a couple months to figure out. All this stuff you see, this it's a lot of work, man. I'm glad you guys appreciate it. And yeah, I'd love to talk to you guys all day, but it's all we already hit in 2 hours. So
Yeah.
you guys have a blessed weekend, and that's it. See you later.
See you guys next time.
And I'm ended with a little fugazi, tofu gazy.
Round in third base. Look and watch me bring it home. They think I found a stray. Niggas in disarray, confusion written on their face. Keep on giving up like how much time you trying to waste. I want my chips with the dip like that nigga Drake. Bigger play, bring a bigger play for a bigger stake. Thumbing through these honeys like a banjo. Thumbing through these honeys on the man, bro. Thumbing through these honeys like a banjo. Like a banjo, like a banjo. I can't tell you how to feel, no. I can't even tell if this is real, bro. All I know is I pulled up and she pulled up and now it's jumping. And now it's jumping. Now it's in the summer. Overtime. Overtime. Guys. This ain't the house that love built, little mama, don't get it twisted. Might change that. Yo, either. Fuck you, pay me. It's recording? The holy water is dripping. Alright, hey, can you turn my audio off? It's that holy water dripping. I said that holy water dripping. Look. Check it out. This ain't the house that love built, little mama, don't get it twisted. 60-hour weeks and I did it without a witness. That holy water is dripping. You better be with the business. I'm slicing right through the tension. Steady focus on the mission like fuck a mention, no confliction. They rapping with no conviction, they oblivious. That's run on sentences. I've been on the move my whole life, like what Elise do. All these niggas bitch made, all these niggas see through. Follow my partners, watching my stories, bitch, I see you. Where you going? And I ain't sitting on the P, I switch hands when I touch the pound. The reincarnation of Blue No XL. United Board Shop, Long Beach, check the textiles. My peers ain't gotta listen to this shit, it's still worthwhile. Ask your bitch, it's still worthwhile. Look, gotta watch your circle carefully. The fall of every icon is niggas that they kept closely. Dope Fugazi, the only enemies I got, God sent, so it's whatever. And these hoes, they gon' change with the weather, so fuck it, bro, it's whatever.